Hi Esther, how you doing today?
Hey, Craig. Finally.
Finally, we get to do this. Yes,
Yeah.
it's been a long time coming.
Really long time. I'm terribly sorry for being.
So we're here. It's the May holidays.
Uh-huh.
So what are your plans for these holidays?
Well, after this video, I'm going to go to Suzhou.
Oh,
Yeah, visit some friend there.
sensational! Nice, very nice place. I used
Yeah.
to live there. So let's talk about your book that was released last year.
Yeah, it's last year. October or something. Yeah.
So tell us about how that all come about and what were the inspirations about this book? Did you always wanted to write a book?
Well, yeah, I always want to read a book, indeed. But I'll just tell you a story from the beginning. So, one late night, a friend of mine just came to me and said, there was a blind person, who, even don't dare to go out before. He finally reached the summit of Mount Everest, and she asked me, "Do you want to write a story about him?" And I was laying on the bed, half awake and half asleep. And I just literally sat up straight and saying, yes, of course.
Right.
Yeah, I think I was very excited of being part of writing the story or
Yes.
writing the book. And I even feel like I have been, all the past experience, were preparations for it.
Yes.
I used to be a journalist covering international news in many places. In I like broken places and broken people.
Yes.
I went to a lot of countries. Did a lot of stories. And also I won the scholarship from the UK government. So I went to the UK. Also did a lot of research on the topic of disability, and even spent quite a long time with looking after the people with disability in Birmingham.
Oh wow.
So this topic is really, it's really something I'm really into. Yeah. So basically, this is where I started with the book. Yeah.
What was it that drove you to do this sort of disability? What was it about that? Why is this a passion?
Well, I mean, in the first beginning, I would always want to be a journalist. This job just can give me the chance to approach to people that are weird, or you can say diverse. So I think with the people with disabilities also, they have their own uniqueness. We cannot see them as the impaired people, but people with their own characteristics.
Right.
So my attention to the people with disabilities is basically because I'm really, really curious about different kinds of people. Some personal reasons as well. I have a very close friends or family members, also have some certain impairs. That's also one of the reasons why I began to, to really notice this topic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's really interesting. So getting back to the book, did it take you, was it 3 years to get all the information or get it together?
Well, this book is kind of a match go with the movie. And the movie started 4 years ago.
Right.
So it's back in 2019. Director Fan Lixun. So he, a friend of him, approached to him and saying, there's a blind person, a blind climber, who wants to climb the Mount Everest with me, and do you want to film it?
Wow.
So I mean, Fan was pretty shocked by it.
Yeah.
And he thought it's highly impossible, but he still flew to Chengdu to see Zhang Hong, and they talked for 1 hour, and at the end of the conversation, he asked Zhang Hong, so why do you want to to reach to really want to reach the summit of Mount Everest, the most inaccessible places in the world?
Yeah.
And he said something. He said, although I cannot see the world, I want the world to see me. And this is a phrase that really, like touched director Fan. And we can say it is like a chicken soup
Yes.
for soul. But at the moment, Fan was pretty much, like touched by it. And then he decided, he want to record the whole process of Zhang's climbing the mountain. Yeah.
So was he a celebrity before he did this, or how did he get? How did you get to know this?
No, not at all. Yeah.
Right.
He became famous after
doing it.
Yeah, after doing it, and there are so many news reports about him, also many articles or from the medias. And I mean, worldwide, yeah.
It's not every day that you want to wake up and climb Mount Everest. I mean, you really have to train for it, like for the air, for the breathing, just for the temperatures. So it must have been very interesting. And how long for him did it take him to do this and prepare for
the climbing? Yeah, very good question. Yeah, he so actually his climbing the mountain was not a whim.
Oh,
like he in 2014. So yeah, I probably can start from his story. Like so he Zhang Hong was born in a very like a desperate or like a very very remote places in Chongqing.
Right.
And he wasn't born blind. But his father and his uncles were both blind, and so he used to be a guide for them. Like they went from the small village to the town, and his father, like was singing for a living on the street.
Nice.
Yeah, he always he always like he's pretty much like familiar with the job of being a guide for them. Yeah. And but at the age of 20 he suddenly lost his sight. Yeah, so he kept on wanting to find a way out. He became kind of like a thick cocoon, I can say.
Yeah.
So he always wants to see the crack.
Right.
Yeah, and he has been looking for the way out for very very long time, and he tried so many times for different things.
Right.
He even came to Shanghai.
Oh, nice.
To work for more than 10 years. More. Different jobs. He just want to tear off the tag.
Yes.
Put on him blind person can only do massage.
Right.
Yeah, he really want to to turn off this social prejudice on him.
Yeah.
But finally he failed. No matter what kind of things he tried, he failed.
Yes.
Yeah, and then he back to hometown, and but he still didn't want to give it up.
Right.
I think still there's probably
I love that motivation.
A wider world there, and there should be a goal as beyond doing massage at home.
Yeah.
So he went to Tibet to be a massage therapist in a hospital. I mean, by chance, like someone gave him this chance. And he, in 2014, he ran into like a mountaineering, Luoze.
Right.
So he's very famous. He's probably the main character of the mountaineer team in 2008, who reached the Everest for the Olympic touch.
Right.
So he's pretty professional. And Zhang Hong asked him, like, is there any blind person in the world who ever reached the summit of Mount Everest?
Yeah.
And Luoze said, yes, there was one in America, but I think his name is Eric. Yeah. So, but Eric is professional, and he was trained from when he was a kid.
Right.
And his family is really rich, and his dad and mom were both politicians or the diplomats. Right. So they really got every right, but Zhang Hong said, yes, if there is, if there were someone who ever reached, then he want to try to give it a try.
Yes.
But of course, at that moment, the Luozi thought he's crazy.
Yeah.
But he's not only blind, he's crazy
Right.
as well. But since then, Zhang Hong was pretty serious about this thing. And I think one of the reasons why he really, feel the passion for climbing is because he thought, like, the mountain, while he is climbing, he can feel that the nature is just. The nature is fair.
Right.
Yeah, no matter your gender, no matter your past,
Yes.
no matter your background, as long as you claim and make one step forward,
Yes.
yeah,
That's a
you
good.
will reach, you will be closer to the summit, and the summit is always there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't move. It's
That's
already
right.
there.
That's right.
And once you put your heart, put your strength into it, you're closer to it. So he feel really comfortable. He feel like there's the crack finally,
Right.
appear in the share.
Yeah. Right. Wow.
Yeah, and then he really keep on training. And you ask me the training.
Yeah.
So because they're limited like income, so he adopted the most clumsiest method of training. Like he carried that he got up at 4 o'clock every morning
Wow.
and carried like 30 kilograms barbell on back and just climbing the stairs, ups and downs and ups and downs, and so many times a day.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
Wow.
and like twice just keep on doing that the most clumsiest method.
That's
of
crazy.
doing that. That's crazy. Yeah.
And the first time that you actually met him, what was that experience like?
Well, we first met in Shanghai in
Yeah.
a small bar, a cafe bar.
Right.
So after I decided to write this story, Zhang Hong and his wife, Xiaqun, just came to Shanghai for an event, for an activity there.
Yeah.
They, he's going to give the speech. So before the speech, we met in the cafe, and then I literally started my interview for the book that morning, and he talked a lot about his childhood, about his past, about the process of fighting
Right.
for the goal. Yeah, that's pretty touching.
Did you feel his passion when you were talking to him? Like his energy?
Yeah, he's always very devoted.
Yes.
The devotion is really something that, like really, really something that really impressive.
Yes.
And like if there's a goal, you're going to put your whole heart into it.
Yes.
And that's really something really touching. I mean, we are very utilitarian. Like we do the things only when we know it has rewards.
Yes, that's right.
Most of us.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you find that it is the people that who have the passion for something or somebody,
Yes.
and they do it no matter what.
Yes.
Even the whole world against them, they will do it. And it's exactly, like it's the people who will get success in the end.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's something I really like.
Yeah. Me too. It's having that passion and the drive, and you can tell when someone's unique and someone that really, really wants to do something. And then you got people there that will do it for money. And they have other reasons to drive them, but the ones that do it for the love and for the passion and for just they're the ones that I like.
Yeah.
In any sort of field. So yeah, I can see from what you've said already.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like he's a very driven sort of person. And
Pretty go-getter.
Yeah. And was the book based on the movie? Or?
The movie based on the book.
Based on the book.
Yeah,
Right.
you can see much more information from the book.
Right.
Yeah. But you can see the very, very beautiful scenery from the film.
Right, of course. But isn't it always the same, like, if the book is better than the movie?
Well, I think scenes and words are different.
Yes.
And you can feel the feeling from the words.
Yes.
It's hard. It's more challenging
Yeah.
than I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, to really read the book, to read it well, is harder than I imagined before I started reading. Why? So we, like body abled people, we use 5 senses to feel the world.
Yes.
Right. But for Zhang Hong, he, after he lost the sight, he can only feel the world without eyes. And eyes is is the organ that can receiving most information.
Yeah.
So I should really put myself into the shoes of him to feel his world.
Yeah.
And without seeing the world, how can you describe it? How can you depict it?
Exactly.
So my then boyfriend just lead me. Like we walked on the street with my eyes, covered with I closing my eyes, and just walked down the street.
Wow.
And I can, like close your eyes, you can immediately feel the fear, the tension, with the cars, honking. You feel nervous. Even one step forward is hard.
Yeah, you could run into anything.
It takes a lot of courage.
A lot of courage.
Yeah, so this is firstly, so this is something, this is for me it's challenging.
Yeah.
And second is emotions are hard to express by words. And human beings' emotions are like grief, the joy, the sadness, excitement, etc., etc.
Yes.
Especially in this story, the ups and downs of emotions.
Yeah.
When you lost your sight, suddenly, the one morning you woke up and you couldn't see the world at all.
Yes.
That kind of shocking, feelings. How you express it? And Zhang Hong just told me I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
And I should use, like pages to describe the inner source and ups and downs in the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
That's amazing.
He just said, I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
And after you couldn't see anything, what's your reaction? And what's your reaction to other people when they rescue you?
Yes.
When they're having fun with you, playing jokes with you? And what is the mixed feelings of being on top of the world?
Yeah.
How you express that?
It's
hard. It's hard. Zhang Hong was saying, okay, I'm excited.
Yeah.
You should explain why.
Yeah.
How to show it out.
Yeah, how to
so
run it
that's one the challenging. And also the thirdly, about the language style. You cannot be very sad. I mean, this kind of story is it's very inspiring, right?
Yes.
But in the beginning, clearly it's not a happy story.
Right.
With all these, but you cannot really make it very sad. You cannot make it very
kind of a balance. Right?
Yeah. Frivolous. Should I say that?
Yeah.
Either. So you should. In Chinese is 哀而不伤，怨而不怒.
Right.
So it's sad but not hurt.
Right.
Yeah. Resentful but not angry. Should I say that? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you should really reach that phase.
Yes.
And kind of like a person who have already crossed the mountains and waters and looks back his own footsteps.
Right.
And tell his own stories to other people with calmly, peacefully, but touchingly.
Yes.
You need to make it touching.
Yeah.
So that's hard. So
it's very hard, yeah.
These 3 challenges it's much more challenging than I thought before.
Yeah. You were talking about his feelings and struggling to put it on in words. How long did it take him to get up to the mountain? And then the emotion.
I don't know if have you ever heard the saying that once you are climbing the mountain, it's not that hard because you have got to go there.
Right.
The hardest thing is you reach the summit and then you go back.
Right.
That process is hard because you feel happy and then you will just say, all right, like everything is done.
They gotta get down.
That's the moment, yeah. That's the moment. So, but at that moment, when he reached the summit, he actually didn't really have a pretty much strong feeling because he couldn't see.
Yeah, right.
And only other, the guide
could tell.
Yeah, told him that, we reached it, we made it.
Right.
So he tried to really, be calm and very, try to restrain his feelings.
Yes.
Because he clearly knew that this is just half. This is just half of the way. We still got half, even harder way to go.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's something you should really control yourself.
Yeah.
Self-controlling.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then once the book come out, what was the feedback like?
Well, it surprised me that we got second publication. The publisher just asked me to if there anything you need to revise because we already sold out, so we need to republish.
That's
I think
amazing.
it is the second publication is already on the way.
Is it available in English?
Well, the movie is definitely available in English.
Yeah.
The book I think now is only Chinese version.
Okay.
Yeah. So what really make me feel touching is, so there's another blind person, he's also lost his sight, by accident.
Right.
So he has been working on empowering people with disabilities in China.
Right.
He's doing a very good job, and he is also very close to Zhang Hong. After he read the book, he asked who wrote this, and then we talked a lot, and he was like, I was so touching, my assistant, my aide just read this book for me.
Yeah.
And I literally cried many times.
Oh.
And I can really relate to it.
Yes.
Yeah, so many episodes I can really relate to it. Yeah, that's something I feel like
That's
so
amazing.
warm. Yeah, so warm because probably, if you read this book, probably you cannot really relate to some of the episodes.
Yes.
But for a person, for the people who have the similar experience,
they can relate to
it
it.
can really touch you. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And can you give us just a little bit of what's to come for the second book?
Oh, second one, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
This one is about business. It's more, it's a business topic. It's how to run business, or it's mainly for companies, and but this is a very main trend for of doing business today. You need to get the digitalization transformation.
It's all changing.
Yeah, so changing.
Ever-changing.
I'm really into it because I used to cover politics. I used to interview politicians.
Yeah.
I feel like this all the topics that I focused on before were all very grande.
Right.
In Spanish. Yeah, but now I feel like I'm very into go details in a certain area.
Yeah, right.
And you got the logics of how to do business. You got
it's
amazing.
It's very interesting you say about business because obviously here in Shanghai we've had the lockdown for nearly 12 months, and then the second lockdown for Shanghai 2022. So there's for businesses it was super tough. So let's talk about your journalism now. I mean, you traveled the world meeting some of the biggest politicians and you could call them celebrities as well. Mm-hmm. Is this coming after you're being graduated? Tell us about how all this come about as well, because it seems like you were just in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. Oh wow. The reason why I became a journalist because I always wanted to see the wider world.
Yeah.
I was born in a plains in northern China, where basically you barely can see any mountains or water.
What province?
Hebei province.
Hebei,
yeah,
right.
It's pretty much like a plateau. You couldn't really see any rocks or water, and
what was it like growing up there in Hebei?
I even don't have any playmate when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So only my elder brother.
Right.
The most memorable about my childhood is my elder brother always like took me to chase the horizon.
Right.
It seems like the horizon is always there. For us, it's mysterious and endless boundary.
Yeah.
And so we run into it often.
Right.
But no matter how hard we tried, it seems like sometimes it's within reach, but we never can reach it.
Right.
So at that moment, so this is what's like being living. this is my feelings of living in the plane.
Right.
The feeling like you can always see the boundary.
Yes.
And it gives you the hope, to chase it. And it indicates that there's a wider world there, outside the places where you lived.
Yeah.
So from that time, I told myself, one day I must get out of here and reach to the wider world. And so in this case, so my elder brother probably is my mentor in the first place. Yeah. So
was there pressure for you to be like really good at school, to move, to be able to get a scholarship or to get?
That's probably the only way.
Yeah.
For many cases, that's probably the only way. Yeah. So
is it still the case now?
Well, now there are probably more options or alternatives. Okay. Yeah. But back in 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was definitely one of the main way to go out to get out where you lived.
And you were quite good at school?
Yeah. I'm safe to say so.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You had a drive and a passion to do really good.
If I made my grade pretty high, then that's probably the only way for me to go further to the bigger places. Went to the best school in that area.
Yes.
And then again go further to the city, to the bigger city again to study, to attend my like high school, primary school, high school. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you said before that you went to England for your university?
No, so it's after I graduate, after I got my master degree. So I worked as a journalist for a few years.
Right.
And then I got the British government scholarship.
Right.
So I got the chance to go to the UK to do my second master.
What was that experience like going to England for the first time?
In the UK, because like I went there in 2020.
Yeah.
So during the COVID.
Oh dear.
So I wore protective suits.
Right.
So I transferred the flight in Hong Kong, and I wore like protective a dress suit, and it was just unsurreal.
Because it was just as bad over in England, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, there was a period of time the situation was pretty much severe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Cambridge.
Oh yeah.
And there was a lockdown there.
Right.
And I literally couldn't go anywhere and just stayed on campus. Yeah.
So what's the difference in education and the way that they teach from Cambridge to like your schooling in China? What are the differences there?
Well, I think the education in the UK, just according to my personal experience, I did a very good job in school. Like in the UK, it's university.
Yeah. I
got the first degree, which is really competitive.
Yes.
So probably only, like less than 10% students can finally get first degree. Well, to me, this is a very, very refreshing experience because it really changed the way of my thinking, especially about especially the critical thinking. So I I've done like more than 10 essays.
Wow.
Yeah, in 1 year. And first, like the first semester, my essays I can just go like 60 something. Yeah, just a little bit higher than 60.
Yeah.
I mean the score. But later on in the second semester, I asked my like supervisor. I asked the students, especially the previous students, and I read their papers, and I got the feeling that I really need to use the logic and critical thinking to read narrative the way I think
Right.
and write. Yeah, to if you want to come up with the idea or with the opinion or with a point, then you need to use other evidence or points to prove it.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is something I really did. Yeah.
Very good. Coming back, was it always the goal to come back and find a job in journalism?
No, I was a journalist before I went to the UK.
Right.
And after I come back, I changed my job. I transferred to business arena.
Got it.
Yeah. So now my work is more relevant to business.
Business, right.
Yeah.
Hence why you got the new book now coming out about business.